It was a rough Memorial Day weekend, especially for those in the central U.S., with relentless, violent, and destructive storms in recent weeks, while the southern parts of the country are facing heat and humidity. For more on this, we're joined by VOA correspondent Chris Casquejo. Well, great to have you back.
Good to be with you.
Chris, give us the latest on the aftermath of the severe weather. Which states were most affected by the deadly tornadoes and thunderstorms?
Well, Texas continues to recover from the deadly tornadoes over the weekend. It's also dealing with oppressive heat, and today, strong storms with damaging winds and baseball-sized hail pummeled that large state, leaving more than a million businesses and homes without power. The nationwide death toll includes 7 in Texas, including a mobile home park after a tornado tore through there on Saturday, and 7 dead in Arkansas. 4 of the victims in the tornado in Texas were children. In Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear said that 5 people had died in his state. Authorities in Oklahoma said 2 people died there. The injured included guests at an outdoor wedding. Now, more than 150,000 homes and businesses had no power Tuesday as of midday in the states of Kentucky, Arkansas, West Virginia, and Missouri, according to the website poweroutage.us. Dami?
Well, this appears to be an unusual phenomenon. Where did these tornadoes and devastating thunderstorms come from?
Well, April had the second highest number of tornadoes on record in the U.S. Late May is usually the peak of tornado season, but a meteorology professor at Northern Illinois University says the recent storms have been exceptionally violent, producing very strong tornadoes. A senior scientist at the National Severe Storms Laboratory said a persistent pattern of warm, moist air is to blame for the string of tornadoes over the past 2 months and the past several weeks here in the U.S.
Well, is that why some states are experiencing unusual heat and humidity?
Yeah, it's due to that pattern of warm, moist air, which is at the northern edge of a heat dome, which is bringing temperatures now here in late May that aren't typically seen until the peak of summer, and summer doesn't even start until next month. The heat index, which is the combination of air temperature and humidity to indicate how the human body feels with heat, near triple digits in parts of South Texas on Monday. Extreme heat was also forecast for major Texas cities, San Antonio and Dallas. And meanwhile, in Florida, Melbourne and Fort Pierce set new daily record highs on Monday. Both hit 98 degrees, which is 36.7 Celsius. Miami set a record high of 96, which is 35.5 Celsius on Sunday.
Well, back to the fierce, deadly tornadoes and storms. Where are these severe weather conditions headed now then?
Well, the threat is moving eastward across the U.S. On Wednesday, there will be some risk of severe thunderstorms that will extend along a 2,500-kilometer swath from the Rio Grande Valley, which is the Texas border, all the way up to the Canadian border along eastern Montana and western North Dakota. And the likelihood of thunderstorms and the potential for severe weather will continue farther to the east as the week moves on over the Plains states on Friday, and finally it will reach the Mississippi Valley on Saturday.
Well, how are storm victims? I'm sure they are getting some help they need. How are they getting their help?
Well, in the state of Kentucky, the governor there, Andy Beshear, declared a state of emergency, which will allow all of the local and state resources to go to helping in the relief efforts. Meanwhile, in Texas, more than a third of the counties are under a disaster declaration, which means the local jurisdictions and governments there no longer have the resources to respond to the tragedy. And so relief organizations like the American Red Cross have arrived on the scene. And the Red Cross usually provides relief and recovery services in disasters like these, from sheltering and feeding residents affected by tornadoes to distributing cleanup supplies once the recovery effort begins. And also a number of local relief agencies are on the ground helping with the effort. Now, it's important to note that disaster response in the U.S. follows a ground-up pattern, which means that affected states like Kentucky and Texas are expected to apply for federal disaster relief from the U.S. government once they exhaust all their local resources. Dami.
All right, Chris, thank you as always for the report. We appreciate it.
Thank you.